Leanne, welcome back to the podcast. I cannot believe how long it has been since you have been on here. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back, Robin. It's been a while.
Oh my gosh, it is such an honor to have you back, Leanne, because
Thank you.
not only has it been like 2 or 3 years since you've been on the podcast, but I don't know if you know this, but like you were one of my very first few clients when we started the academy. I think you came when we were a couple of months to a year in. You were like very
Mhm.
early days
Yeah.
of the academy. And it's just been the most beautiful thing to witness you grow into the CEO and business owner that you are today, and see your confidence grow, and see how you've navigated challenges, and see how you've grown your jewelry business. Despite like a lot of other challenges that have been going on in your life behind the scenes as well. And so I'm so grateful to you for coming on today to, share some of your experience and and also share like what you've achieved, because I know it's going to inspire so many other jewelry business owners out there who need to see evidence of somebody doing what they're wanting to do that maybe they feel like isn't possible for them for whatever reason. And so I know this is going to be so inspiring for so many jewelry business owners. So thank you for being here. And to kick us off, do you want to go ahead and just introduce yourself to our listeners, who you are, what your jewelry brand is, and a little bit about how you kind of got into jewelry?
Okay. First off, Robin, it's been such a pleasure watching you grow as well over all these years. I think it's been 5 years since I've been in business, so you set me on fire, I guess. At the very beginning, I came to you. So um, we make gold jewelry more for women who have walked through hard times, like myself, and use it as a celebration of their milestones or achievements, how far they've made it, and to remind them also of loved ones they've lost. Yeah.
It's so, so beautiful. Yeah, there's so much meaning behind your brand, and I definitely want to dive into that a little bit in a few minutes.
Okay.
So you're 5 years in business now. Is that it's officially your 5 year?
It will be
Amazing.
5 years in August. Yeah.
5 years in August. Okay. Do you remember before you came in and joined me in the Jewelry Business Academy, what stage of business were you at? Were you just getting started? Had you been in business for a couple of months?
So I had been in business for a couple months and I hadn't told anyone. And at our retreat in Kelowna with you is the first time I told anyone that I had had a previous jewelry business probably about 10 years before. And I had shut it down because I had mental health issues at the time. And I was too embarrassed to ever start it up again. So, uh, at that time when I had met with you, my husband was locked out from his job and we were struggling financially. So I knew I had a gift, I knew I had a passion, and I just needed someone to help me get it going. And so that's where I reached out to you and made the investment. And that's how Isla Ray started and has flourished.
Oh my goodness. Just gave me chills because, yeah,
Mhm.
I remember you at the retreat standing up and sharing that story. And
Mhm.
it's crazy looking back. When you look back and you're like, how do you feel about your younger self who felt embarrassed about that? Like, what would you say to someone who's listening, who's maybe like navigating something similar? Because that's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of at all.
Yeah, I think a lot of the shame came from just being in a small community and having, I felt I let so many people down and I was embarrassed at, I guess, how I had kind of fell apart with my own mental health. And I think starting the business again, I still was embarrassed until I shared with you guys. And that just, I guess, kind of gave me hope. And it did look at myself in that spot, being like, why am I embarrassed? My whole business is centered around mental health and giving back to mental health So sharing that I was one of the people that had struggled to bring my business to where it is, I guess just made sense at that time.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. So, do you remember? And I think it was you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was you who texted me. I think before you came and joined, and you were like, "Do you think I'm too old to be starting this again?" Was that
Yeah,
you?
that was probably me because I would have been uh, 42 then, I guess, at the time. And I have tried, I can't even count how many jobs I've tried in my life. So like starting and stopping jobs, never being able to stay focused or engaged, and just struggling with, I guess, intellectual disabilities. I didn't feel smart enough and stuff like that. So when I started doing jewelry, it was like a passion. It fueled me so much. Like I enjoyed making it and I enjoyed every part of it at the beginning. And yeah, I think that was probably me being worried about being too young or too old, because yeah, I had been a stay-at-home mom for several years, and before I started a business.
Yeah. And when you look at like how far you've come now, like what would you say to younger you who thought you were too old to start, which is so like it's so funny to me because I've had people in their 30s ask me if they're too old. I've had people in their 60s ask me if they're too old, and it's like you're never too old. Maybe if you're 96, like maybe then we can have a conversation about like, well, at that point as well, like, don't you want to do what you want to do if you have a couple of years left? But 42 is so young. Like you're so young. What would you say to someone who's like maybe in their 40s or even 50s or even 60s who's listening to this, who's had this dream to build their jewelry business, whose passion is jewelry, but they've told themselves it's too late to start?
Oh, I would definitely encourage them to start and to just try, because I don't think if there's a passion there, no matter what job it is, it's just going to take it to a whole next level for you, I guess.
100%. Yeah. And what does that like look like for you over the past few years? Do you remember like how your sales were before you came in? And are you open to sharing some sort of ballpark numbers as to like some wins you've had over the past few years and how you've grown? Because it's been quite a dramatic transformation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think before I like officially started with you, I had maybe been, we'll say, struggling on my own for about 6 months, and I think the first year of my business, I made 6,000, and then after working with you, it tripled every year. So I went from, I'll just look at my notes. Okay, yeah. So the second year, so it went from 6,000 then to 18, then 42, and then to 105. And this past year, we are about the same as last year, just with the price of supplies increasing so much. And unfortunately, with the state of shopping and whatnot, a lot of our wholesale partners have closed their doors.
Mm-hmm.
And so we lost some wholesale partners. But this year, we're projected to do the same, if not more, as the last year.
Amazing. I mean, this is really phenomenal, Leanne. Like the fact that you've gone from like 16,000, 6,000 to 18,000 to 42,000 to 108,000. Like the growth has been phenomenal. And I just want to be very clear, like this is all your results. Like you did all this work. I unfortunately don't have a magic wand where when someone comes in we just like wave it and bam, there's the sales coming in. Like you came in, you went through the program, you've gone through our program multiple times by
Yeah,
now because
yeah.
there's always new variations. You've come to calls, you've asked questions, but ultimately you've gone and taken action. So like it's just incredible to see this growth. How does it feel to be a six-figure jewelry business owner? I know it's got its ups and downs, but what are your favorite parts of it?
Um, I think my favorite parts of it is finally paying myself a wage. my favorite parts, like doing markets, as hard as they are on my physical health, they take me all over the place. Like we go to Winnipeg twice a year and we enjoy the spa there. And we have great community all over several provinces now. So I enjoy the
Mm.
traveling aspect as well. And yeah, I
Oh.
also really love being able to employ other women. And yeah, we have quite the little staff going of women.
Yeah, you've got a whole team. You did not have a team when we got started. What's it been like growing your team over the past few years? I know it's challenging, but like tell us what it like how that's been for you.
Yeah, growing is, it can be challenging, but it also has been very beneficial in several ways. Like two of my best employees, like we have long-term friendships now, and
Mm.
we're very, very, very close. And yeah, uh, being a boss can be hard. Setting boundaries can be hard, but it's very beneficial, not just to grow the business, but also like the relationships I've made with staff and from markets is just something that I can't even put a, I guess,
Price tag on.
price tag on it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love that. And you know, what was so special to me was our first ever jewelry business retreat in Kelowna. You flew in and you bought a ticket for your team member to come with you. Like both of you came to the retreat. And I was just blown away by that because I'm like, how special? Like, that was a couple of years into your business. Like, did you think a few years before that not only would you have a business that was doing well, you'd have a team member and you would be flying her in to a retreat with you in
Yeah.
Kelowna?
Yeah, that was really special. Yeah, it was really special bringing that particular employee. She
Yeah.
is like, we talk all the time, and this will be news for you, Robyn, that she did take a corporate job and she hasn't worked with us probably for a year, but she has started working with us again because she's burnt out from her corporate job. And she's looking to go out on her own.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I absolutely love her. She's the sweetest. And I'm sorry to hear about the corporate job burning her out, but like, what a blessing to have a soft place to land, to have you
Mhm.
as a business owner that has built like such a beautiful culture in your business where it's like, oh my gosh, I want to come back. I want to work with you. I want to be part of this company and part of this movement. That is so special, Leanne, and what a
Mhm.
testament to like the company that you've created and the culture you've
Yeah.
created there as well. Do you remember before you came in and joined me and joined the program? I mean, it's an investment that, like, as you shared before, financially, like, I don't feel like you were necessarily in the strongest place. You know, there was also like concerns around like health and energy and all that stuff. Did you have any doubts or hesitations before making the investment and joining me?
Of course, yeah, because yeah, my husband was locked out. We didn't have like a lot of finances, and we didn't want to take out a loan to start the business. So we funded our business. We didn't take out any kind of loan, and I think we only spent $5,000 to get it up and going, and then that was like paid back right away, and that was including like paying you and stuff like that. So it had an instant turnaround.
I'm so happy to hear that. What were those concerns? Do you remember?
Yeah, like if I was going to see return on the investment working one on one with you, if the business was even going to make it, or if I was going to even make money. And yeah, the concern was mostly just about the financials part of it, but that was like remedied right away.
Yeah, I'm so glad you came in. I'm so glad you joined us. And obviously, it's evolved so much since then. Like the program has evolved, the community has evolved. What would you say is your favorite part of the program and working with me?
Oh, the biggest part of the program that is specific, I guess, to my disability is by far how well you've laid it out, Robyn. I can go back and re-access the information, and it's always changing, and I can rewatch it and relearn it, because with my short-term memory loss, it doesn't transfer over for very long. So I have all the papers that I can go back and work through every launch, every like pricing template. I can redo that all over.
I love that so much. And when it comes to group coaching calls, I know some people feel like, oh, I don't really feel like group coaching is a vibe. And I think everyone runs group coaching calls differently. What's your experience been of coming to our group coaching calls, being coached by me on them, listening to other people being coached on them? What's your experience been of that?
I love the way you, Robyn, run the group coaching calls. I like that we ask the question in the chat, and then we can have time to prepare the information when you come around to us. And I think it's really beneficial for all the other listeners, because I know someone's asked a question that I had myself wanted the answer to, and it's good to hear others' experiences and hear what they're working through so I can implement it in my own business.
I love that. That's wonderful to hear. And it kind of brings me to a question I have, which is my personal favorite part of entrepreneurship. But when you look at the person you've become through building this jewelry business, what's your favorite part of that? Like, who was Leanne 5 years ago before, and who's Leanne now?
Um, I would think I, I've taught myself so much about making jewelry that I feel really confident in my skills. And when I receive feedback, like from women that are wearing it 3 years later, or, haven't taken it off in a year, and it's like just the other day, a lady was like, I already bought 3 anklets this summer and we're only 2 months into summer. And I was like, just try one of mine. And she hasn't taken it off yet. It's not broken. So I feel very, very confident in the abilities I have making jewelry.
Oh, that's beautiful. And that confidence comes through online as well. I've noticed a huge shift in how you show up online, how much space you take up online, how vulnerable you are online, how open you are online. And that to me has also just been the most beautiful thing to witness. You like really claiming space in the world, you using your voice, you sharing your story, you're not holding back. um like, talk us a little bit through that. And if you're open to sharing, like, I don't want to push you to share anything you don't want to, but if you want to share a little bit about what you share on your social media, that would be awesome too.
I guess, yeah, I'm pretty open with sharing on my social media, especially about my own struggles with body confidence and self image and body dysmorphia. Because I know I see myself different than how others see me. And I know that jewelry and putting on makeup and a dress or whatever changes that. And I know that I can help other women see themselves differently. So I'm really vulnerable about that. And I have lots of health issues that I share about that haven't, I guess, kind of slowed. Well, they do slow me down, but they haven't stopped me. I have a lot of personal problems in my life, and I don't share a lot about those online, but I continue to keep showing up, I guess, online and in my business, even though a lot of my personal life is in chaos half the time.
I love this. I find it inspiring, Leanne, because I know people with less challenges in their life than you who come up with excuses for why things aren't possible for them, for their business. And what you've done so incredibly well is like, yes, life is hard. Yes, you're going through these things. And somehow you're still like, you're not looking for excuses for why it's not going to happen. You're looking for ways to make it happen despite the like life throwing things at you. And, that's a trait that I've seen in every successful business owner that I know. They're wayfinders. They find ways to make things happen instead of looking for like valid, very valid excuses for like, okay, well, XYZ happened, which means I'm just not going to do this. Um, what would you say to someone listening who's like feeling like, oh my gosh, this is inspiring. I maybe am realizing that I've been using, maybe something that's happened to me personally or in my personal life as a reason for like not building this business or not showing up for this business and not taking messy action. But I'm realizing like I'm maybe, you know, not actually honoring that passion that I have by doing that. What would your advice be to them?
I don't know if I have advice, but the way I see it is there is only so much I can control in my life. And a lot of the things that have happened to me and my family are out of my control, but I can control how much I put into my business. Um, and I can kind of control that. I feel like the only thing that is controllable in the chaos around me is my business. And about not giving up when it gets hard, like having lost so many family members to suicide, giving up to me is not an option anymore. So I just choose to keep going and not give up.
Mm, that's beautiful. Um, so I I want to go back to your journey of building this business because the reality is it's been hard. Like
Mhm.
like I don't think any part of your growth or your results has been easy, would you say? Like
No.
it's been tough. It's been a hard road, but you've still made it happen. What do you feel like would have taken longer or felt harder or potentially not even have happened if you continued trying to figure out everything in your business alone if you didn't come join me in the Jewelry Business Academy?
Oh, I think I would have kept like undervaluing my work. I had no idea about how to price things, so I was probably not making close to any money. I wouldn't. Oh, what was the question?
No worries. What do you think would have taken longer or felt harder if you didn't have support?
Okay, yeah, definitely. I had no idea how to price things. It would have taken. I didn't even know anything about a collection. Like I didn't know. I just made once-off pieces, and I had jewelry, I had dream catchers, I had everything. So really understanding about like how to create a collection, it was like a game changer for me. Instead of
Mm.
making like 100 different pieces, I was making 20 pieces of 5 designs, and that changed my whole business like entirely.
Oh my goodness. I love that. And do you remember when you started? I feel like you were quite shy on camera. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
What helped? Because when you came in, like I know I have people who are like, I'll join, but like under no circumstances am I going on camera. But like, you
Mhm.
know me, we've got
Yeah.
we've got we've got a way of like slowly like getting people on camera and getting them taking those steps and building that confidence. Um, what helped when you came into the program when you started working me to help start building that confidence?
I think like, yeah, just how you kind of outlaid, like it was just, well, this was like what, 3 years ago when or 4 years ago when I started with you probably. So it wasn't a lot of, I guess, showing Instagram. Like I wasn't so active on Instagram, but it was like a slow build, right? Like just slowly exposing myself on Instagram. And I think like using my own photos at markets and my own photos on the website of myself shows like it's a woman in her 40s. That's the kind of women I am and the kind of women that are my clientele. So I am more comfortable like taking the photography myself. And I really think markets brought out that in me that I was able to like show up on camera better because a friend of mine once said like going to a market is like standing in front of a crowd naked because you're so vulnerable. Like you have people
Yeah.
coming into your booth and judging your stuff, judging you, judging your work. And learning to have like thick skin. I've never had a bad incident at a market, but learning to, kind of just be confident in what you're putting out there and on how you look, I think was just really like getting out there and mingling with everyone was really built my confidence to show up more on social media for sure.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. There's so like events and being out in the world and taking those baby steps and accumulating evidence that like
Mhm.
as you talk to people, as you share story, as you take up space, as you're visible on camera, the world keeps spinning, the sun rises the next day, and you probably feel more connected to life and to people around you. Let's talk about community because you've built such an incredible community around your business. Like, I'd almost say it could be a problem. Do you remember coming to the retreat? What was the biggest problem
Sorry.
that happened at the retreat? Do you remember? Do you want to share? Oh,
Yeah, so we had, how did that work? We had like 3 hours of sleep and then we flew out on the plane to see you and Jillian Harris. I had did a swag bag to a lot of the speakers there and Jillian Harris called out one of our earrings and it like, I was in the hotel room and we were supposed to be coming to see you and my phone was lighting up. My husband was trying to fill orders and we just, yeah, we ran out of supplies and we had to order more. And it was a good problem to have.
oh my gosh, the best kind of problem. I love it. So we've spoken a bit about numbers and revenue. Obviously, like you've done such an incredible job. And just keep in mind for anyone who's listening to this, I know you said you're on track for maybe like surpassing last year's, the six-figure mark there. But we're only 6 months in when we're recording this, so there's still so much room there for growth as well. But beyond revenue, what are some of the biggest milestones that you're really proud of since joining the Jewelry Business Academy? It could be stores that you sell to, wholesale accounts, team growth, your confidence, travel that you get to do, your mindset, anything else that feels meaningful.
Yeah, definitely wholesale accounts. Yeah, you can find Isla Ray in stores across Canada. We're at the Winnipeg airport. It's kind of surreal seeing your stuff being like selling so well out in like BC or wherever. When we had one order last, not order, we had a rep or not a rep, a wholesale customer in BC pick us up in October last year. And from October till December, she had bought like 150 of our most popular necklaces. And they just are still my number one design that I created like 4 years ago is just still going strong across Canada. It's just, that one just really blows my mind. Um, yeah, so that, and then I never even had an email list before I started working with you. And when you were like email list or email subscribers, I'm like, oh, I don't have time. But so yeah, I started an email list and we're at like 1,500, I think, email
I love that.
subscribers. Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
And my email community is strong, my strongest community. At markets, like I have a lot of people that will come specifically to see us. But yeah, my email community is very, very strong, probably more so than my Instagram community.
Oh, I love that. I mean, that's incredible that you've got a very strong Instagram community. So the fact that your email's stronger is awesome. And so, what would you say for someone listening who's considering coming and joining us in the Jewelry Business Academy, working with me, who maybe is where you were 5 years ago, or maybe is where you were 10 years ago when you were considering quitting, well, when you did quit your other jewelry business? What would you say to them? Would you recommend working with me? And if so, why?
I would definitely recommend working with you, Robyn. The structure and the JBA is lined out so well. And just, yeah, with my disabilities, it's perfect for me to be able to print it off and visit it many, many times. I don't regret that for 1 second. It was the best decision I made for the business was to start working with you for sure.
I love that. And when you look forward as to like the next 6 to 12 months, what are you most excited for in your jewelry business, Isla Ray Jewelry? Like, what are you most excited to achieve over the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, last year I made myself a pretty hefty goal and I surpassed it. So this October to December, I'm going to make it a bigger goal, I think.
Ooh, I love it. Are you open to sharing? You absolutely don't have to share numbers, but I always, if you're open to it, I like to get a feel.
Yeah, and it's just the number, but I am a stickler for I just don't the working backwards when we do that I just don't see how the numbers align, but I did do this to implement that goal in October, so I sold $40,000 from October to December last year.
Amazing. I love it. And so the goal is to do the same this year or to more to increase?
I think I'll try for 50.
50,000 for
Mhm.
Q4. Okay, Leanne, I'll make a deal with you. you you get the 50,000 and we'll bring you on for a celebratory episode in
Okay,
January. How does that sound?
sounds good. Yeah, that will work.
Sounds good. Okay, I love it. Um, we should have actually made it a like vacation trip because January is depressor here. But
Oh yeah.
um, yeah, this is so exciting. And so I have a couple of rapid fire questions for you for someone who's like listening to this, who's feeling inspired by what you've done and is maybe considering coming and joining us in the academy, wants to work with me, but they're thinking to themselves, cool, but I feel like I'm too late in life to join the program and build the kind of business I really want. What would you say to them?
I would say jump in. If it's your passion, go for it. I started at 42 and I don't regret it. I never fit into the cookie cutter box. I was not that person, and here I have like control over everything. Um, Mostly control over everything, but I can go as I want, and it's never too late, I would say, to start. No.
I love that. And for someone thinking, my health or my mental health challenges mean that I probably won't be able to get results inside the academy. I won't be able to get results working with Robyn. What would you say?
Um, Health wise, like this was definitely the best business I could have for my health. Like physically, I have a lot of issues. So, like, I don't know, busting tables or whatever I would be doing in a different job or lifting a lot is not something I can do. So, I can, if I'm having a really bad day, if I've had a recent surgery, I can work on the laptop from bed, I can make jewelry from bed. And from like a mental health perspective, making jewelry has definitely helped with my mental health, and being able to take that into the ward and gift that to the children there and work with them to help with their mental health, and to like connect with them, to let them know that I was exactly where they were and give them a little bit of inspiration is like totally all about the business as well.
That just gave me chills. We didn't even get a chance to touch on that. I mean, the fact that not only do you impact people through your jewelry, through having a team and creating jobs and employing women, but you also create impact by going and you work at a mental health hospital for children. Is that
Yeah, I go into two different wards and I work with adolescents. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the impact you are having on the world is so tremendous. Like I don't even feel like you can't even measure the impact there. So that's beautiful. Out of curiosity, Leanne, let's just take like last year as an example. I think you said you made 108,000 last year.
105. 105. Yeah.
105,000. How many times approximately did you end up in hospital or in bed sick, like, would you say, throughout the year?
Oh gosh, I would say I would be out of the 12 months at least 2 months bedridden, at
Two
least, and then
months bedridden.
a lot of the time like just struggling a lot with pain and yeah, having to take pain meds, stuff like that. But
Oh my gosh, incredible. And that's that's phenomenal that you've done that. And I appreciate you sharing, because I think it's going to give other people hope.
mm,
Because I think you've seen in the academy we have a lot of people with chronic illness. I agree with you. I think jewelry is like one of the best businesses to have if you are navigating that, if it's your passion, because
mhm,
yeah, you have flexibility over your time. It's light and easy pieces to handle. Like, it's just a beautiful business in so many ways, and it also builds community around you, which is so important, especially for mental health. But for someone who's thinking to themselves, well, I'm super shy, I'm too scared to show up on camera, or like do some of the things that I feel like Robyn's going to push me outside of my comfort zone, what would you say to them?
Robyn's gonna push you outside your comfort zone. um, uh, I think it fake it till you make it. Because it is uncomfortable at the beginning, but when you have people coming to see you specifically at a market, or when you have connection like that at a market, like when you are crying with someone over a lost one, a loved one, or anything like that, it all makes it just worth it, like to show up. And sometimes showing up, is hard at markets. Like there's a lot of times I'm anxious or whatever, but once you settle in and you get there, and it's always worth it for me, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's beautiful. I I love that. For someone who's thinking, I'm worried I'm going to get lost inside the Jewelry Business Academy. I'm going to get lost in Robyn's program. I'm not going to receive enough personal support from her. What would you say? Because you have been in the program, like you're one of our longest standing clients. You've seen
Oh,
us through a gazillion seasons.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, so I've actually had people ask me about your program and say they've tried other programs and they are lost and it's too much, it's overwhelming, da da da. And my exact advice is take it at your own capacity. And like I'm continuously going back and working through it over and over and over again, because I'll do it today and I'll forget it tomorrow. That's just how my brain works right now. So um, yeah, it's is you can make it as complicated as you want, or you can like take it as slow as you want. That's what I did myself, and I don't know if I made it through it all, but and I love that it's always like adapting to the changes on on Instagram and email marketing. Like you guys are always consistently updating how to I guess keep up with the changes. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. And when it comes to like access to me in the private community where we answer questions, I know what some people have experienced is they go into programs and there's not really anyone answering their questions, or it's not the person they thought who was going to answer questions. What's your experience been of that?
um yeah, well, I've never done a program, but Robyn, you're the
In
only one. Yeah, you're the only one that's ever answered the questions in our group calls for me, and I appreciate all the expertise you have, like in marketing, and you had your own jewelry business, so your knowledge is like um, very, I guess, solid. And
Mhm.
I also enjoy like when I ask a question in the Facebook community, like you'll answer it, and then the other community members will answer it as well if they have the similar experience, or if they know the metal or materials that I'm working in, or stuff like that. So there's always
Mm.
a lot of knowledge there.
Oh, I love that. One last question for you. For someone who's like, this sounds amazing. I think I want to come in. I want to join. It's going on, it's been on my vision board. I want to do this, and I'm going to just wait like a few more months. I might wait a few more years and then I'll do it, but I'm going to do it at some point. What would you say to someone waiting for the perfect time to come in?
I think if you wait till the perfect time, it's just never going to come. Like the perfect time is now, and like if I would have waited any longer, I would have like essentially been losing money for sure because I didn't know how to properly price things, and I didn't know, I was like floundering. So
Mm.
yeah, it was the time, and I don't regret it one bit. Like but it's been 5 years or whatever, and or close to 5 years, and yeah, I still use all that information. I continue to access the group all the time, and yeah, it was definitely worth it.
I love it. Well, it's been so wonderful having you in the program. So wonderful supporting you. So special having you at the retreat, the first retreat. Hopefully, you'll come to next year's one. I'm
Yeah.
excited. We're busy planning and putting all the
So,
the dates and stuff into place. Is there anything else you wanted to share with us, Leanne? I feel like we're going to have to do another episode just diving more into just your story because I feel like we still haven't shared that. But when you're ready, I feel like that would be really special. But anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
I think the way the program's laid out, and when you say you have ADHD, Robyn, I was thinking of that today. I'm like, how is that possible? Because it's so well thought out and organized, and it's exactly what I need to have the steps properly laid out that I can implement them.
I love that so much. Well, this has been so much fun. Thank you for coming and sharing your experience. And I know we're going to have people being like, I need to check out Leanne's jewelry. I want to follow along. I want to support her. I want to cheer her on. Where can our listeners find you and how can they support you?
They can find me on Instagram at Isla Ray Jewelry, or we have email community, and we have a online store.
Amazing. We will link all of those in the show notes so anyone listening can go follow along and connect with
Okay,
Leanne. But Leanne, thank
awesome.
you again so much for joining me. And I'm looking forward to connecting in
Yes.
January for our follow up, update, celebratory chit chat. We'll have to like I'll mail you some champagne. It will have to
Perfect.
be a whole thing. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you again so much for joining me.
Thanks, Robyn, for having me.